everyone, and happy Friday. I hope everyone's doing great. Thank you for letting me have a day off. I had to take Thursday off. I was very, very busy on Thursday. Today is my day off, so I get to, I'm taking a day off because it's my birthday, 56 years old today, so I'm celebrating it. I'm going to be going to the LACMA, Los Angeles Art Museum. There's some pretty interesting art exhibits that I want to see. And then tonight my friend is taking me to dinner, so it'll be a fun birthday. So the first thing I want to talk to people about is that I have received the money from the YouTube channel. I guess they pay us on the 18th or the 19th. I couldn't figure this out, and then recently I got another payment. So so we get to spend money today. It's so much fun to donate and to get to play the philanthropist, I have to say. Spending all this money donating, and aren't I so wonderful? Yes, but it's really just it's those people who, if you're willing to sit and watch the commercials for this channel, all the proceeds from the commercials for this channel are donated to charity. So I thank you for that, and it's always fun that we all get together and we get to decide where that money is going to be sent based on the fans of the channel get to decide where they want their money to be spent. So please let me know what charities you support so that we can begin to donate to them. This channel is really committed to helping the environment, so a lot of the donations have gone to helping the environment, but we also give to vulnerable persons, animals, etc. All right, so let's get cracking. I think we have like $900 we donated. So we're going to start with the ACLU. The ACLU, we've talked about this. Many of our viewers wanted to donate to ACLU because ACLU has been targeted by this administration, and it's ACLU that's the lawyers are working for free trying to reunite families that have been separated at the border. And so for that reason, people wanted to donate, and so we gave $100 to the ACLU. Yay to the ACLU. Now here's a nice charity. I really like this charity, and please forgive me, whoever you are who recommended this charity. We get a couple hundred comments per video, and we try to put up about 5 videos a week, so I need to be a little bit more judicious about documenting names and stuff, because sometimes I'm sorry, I just lose contact with people. But this is Tree Sisters, and it's a women's network of helping to plant trees and help the environment. And so we're Tree Sisters. We gave $100 to Tree Sisters. Yay! And here is a charity, the third charity that was recommended by one of our viewers, World Vision. We gave $100 to World Vision. That was requested by one of our viewers. One of our viewers asked if we would also donate to vulnerable animals, and I thought that was a great idea. So we gave $100 to the African Wildlife Foundation, and specifically I'm concerned about the mountain gorillas. I think there are only 1,100 mountain gorillas left. So the African Wildlife Foundation is doing great work with that. So we gave them $100. I'm really passionate about making sure that everyone has clean drinking water, and that we clean up pollution in the water systems all over the world. Clean water, safe drinking water, making sure we don't pollute our rivers and streams, etc. That's a big part of my personal mission here. So I gave $200, or we gave, to charitywater.org to ensure clean, safe drinking water to people throughout the world. Charitywater.org. And then, because I absolutely love animals, the second animal charity we chose was ASPCA.org. The ASPCA that rescues vulnerable animals. So we gave $100 to the ASPCA. And finally, as I had mentioned in previous talks, for those people who want to be involved in helping free vulnerable people from sex trafficking, slavery, etc., we decided to pick a charity from Half the Sky, written by Nicholas Kristof and his wife. So in honor of Half the Sky, we chose one of the charities. And if you'd like to read Half the Sky, you can get it on Amazon.com. And it's about international organizations working to stop the exploitation of women and children through slavery, sexual slavery, etc. So we gave to Apni App Women. That is a organization out of India that rescues women in India from sex trafficking. So Apni App Women Worldwide, we gave $250 to. So those are our charities. Thank you to everybody who sat and watched all of those commercials. Every time you do that, you're helping the planet and vulnerable people. And please send me information to charities that you like and support so that they can be part of our charity drive in April. Yay! Thank you, everyone. Okay, so now let's get to the fun part. For those people who weren't interested in the charity drive, you could have just skipped ahead, and we're going to go ahead now and talk about the stuff you really are wanting to talk about, and I want to talk about too, and that has to do with the latest and greatest in the world of politics. And this is based on a meditation I did last night. And specifically, I was focusing on Rod Rosenstein and the fact that Rod Rosenstein had delayed his departure date from the Justice Department. So when I looked at the future of Rod Rosenstein, it was kind of interesting because in the history books, we always wonder who the hero is going to be. And everybody knows that Mueller has done amazing work, and he will probably be vindicated in history as the man that saved America. But really, the hero is going to be Rod Rosenstein, because when I got into the energy of Rod Rosenstein, I saw him brought back with applause. Like there were applause and people congratulating Rod Rosenstein. And there was this feeling like this huge case had been broken open, and the bad people were caught, and they wanted Rod Rosenstein to stay on to finish the case, to be there till the end for the applause, because none of this could have happened without Rod Rosenstein. And it went on to say in the meditation that Rod Rosenstein's mandate has saved the Republic. So what happened was that because Rod Rosenstein created that mandate, which allowed Mueller to start the investigation, that act basically saved the Republic, and Rod Rosenstein will be the hero in history who saved the Republic by the fact that he created a broad mandate, and he had the wisdom to bring in Mueller. Had those things not happened, it would not have. There would have been other investigations, but it might not have turned out as well as it did because of Rod Rosenstein's actions. So that is how I see the future remembering Rod Rosenstein. Now, in terms of the president, I feel there are some sealed indictments and some plea deals in exchange for full immunity and cooperation that could be offered to the president, but that the president may, at this time, is declining the offer and thinks that he can win in court, and he believes that this can go all the way to the Supreme Court. So the conclusions of the Mueller investigation appear to be not beyond grounds for impeachment. It appears to be that there's grounds for an indictment of the president. So yes, it's possible that it could go all the way to the Supreme Court. I know that the president has hired 17 lawyers. So I think that he does live in a kind of bubble where he believes that he can win this. His friends, his lawyers have told him he can win this. And so there is a real disconnect from reality. And unfortunately, because of that, and because the lawyers want the case, and because people are going to make money off of it, he may choose initially to turn down offers of early resignation in exchange for immunity for him and his children. That offer is imminent. I feel like that offer, if it hasn't happened already, is imminent. And I think that initially the president will turn the offer down. And as I had said before, like when I go into the meditation on the Mueller report, a lot of investigation is not complete, but we're going to be able to see the stuff that they're ready to prosecute. The parts of the case that are ready to prosecute. And I always go back in the meditation to the same thing, which is the Trump Tower meeting. Jared Kushner and Don Jr., both of whom have not been indicted yet, but Manafort was indicted, and other people have faced legal consequences. And I keep getting the feeling that Hope Hicks has immunity, and that the special counsel was very kind and empathetic to her as a way of winning her trust. And the case, they have a strong case against the president, and I made a listing of it. Lying to the feds. He's lied both publicly. He has lied to the feds. Yesterday, Rod Rosenstein and Barr both were at the White House. So a federal officer or a member of the Justice Department or a member of the FBI is never going to go into a meeting with this president by themselves. They're always going to go with another Justice Department employee or other people in the room, and that's for legal reasons. And it keeps going back to witness tampering. He tampered with his son's testimony, which was witnessed by multiple people who have immunity. As I said, lying to the feds. They said something about a solicitation or bribery. I don't really understand that legally, but that was what I heard. Conspiracy to defraud America, the American voter. They have a case against him for conspiracy to defraud the American voter by bribing people and silencing people. And a general reckless disregard for the office he holds. And a general disregard for the office he holds. That it seems to be what I'm seeing when I go into the meditation. It was kind of interesting also when I meditated on this report, how they had brought in Russian mob experts, and they had also studied previous mafia conviction cases in order to coordinate with SDNY, which had quite a bit of information about the New York real estate and mafia, etc. And there are pending investigations with the mob and with this kind of criminal activity, which does involve, unfortunately, some questionable behavior. There's some crime there, and there are. I heard that I picked up or I sensed that there were open cases in Florida, New York, California. There was something that I got a hit on California and possibly New Jersey as well. This is crazy. So that's what I picked up. That was the meditation last night. It's really getting crazy. The other thing I wanted to say is that I think the argument by conservatives that the president is mentally unhinged or is suffering from pre-dementia will begin to grow more people in the conservative movement will begin to hold on to that. We're seeing that with Meghan McCain, We're seeing that with Kelly Anne Conway's husband, Conrad, I believe his name is, who's a conservative lawyer who has basically come out and said that the president is mentally unwell. So that's actually what the main thing, the conservative opposition to this president will be, that he is unfit to serve, that he has abused his office, and that he's mentally unwell. That's the conservative argument. The conservatives, the Republicans that are trying to get rid of this president, don't have to say collusion. They're building strong cases based on his behavior and based on his mental health. So I'm going to go ahead now and I want to do a couple things. Number one, I threw cards yesterday just for myself to see if this president would take a resignation, and the cards came back rejecting resignation, that he was going to fight it. So I just want to check now to see if that's where we're at, and then I'll go ahead. There have been some requests to check on Kelly Anne Conway and her husband, and I can do that too. But let's look at the president first. What is going on with this president? And I'm using my old deck. But we might throw with the Whimsy deck too today. What is going on with this president? What is going on? Is he going to take the deal or not? These are my old cards that I've had for a very long time. They're well worn. And being a tarot reader is an interesting hobby, passion, profession, call it what you will. But I like to do something. I like to look at cards both for their traditional meaning, but I also like to bring my own spin on the cards, so to speak. Okay, base card, there's a new beginning coming for this president. We can see there's a nice cup there. Somebody comes in peace. There's offers, a new beginning this spring. This is an April card for me, but it's also the time of spring when the new green leaves are coming off of the wand, and then pushing up, an offer comes. So we've got some kind of an offer being presented to the president this spring. We are now officially in spring, so this is starting to get really exciting. Where the president is at right now, he's doing his work, he's focusing on his work, and there's another offer right over him. People are doing a lot to try and help this president and to try and offer some kind of a deal with him. You can see here that beautiful Ace of Cups is right over him. What's above him? And I think I have all the cards straight up today, so there's going to be no inversions, by the way. Sometimes I like to read with all the cards straight up. We can see here healing. You can see, look at all these cups. Offers. Is it better for the Democrats to try and work with this president or to impeach him? There seems to be a lot of peace offers here. The future of his business is a deep concern for him. It comes up a lot. But I also keep getting this rejection of offers, and you can see here, Hangman coming, healing or offer rejected, a message of an offer or a message of healing here again. But you can see Hangman. I think that this president thinks that he can win this case. I think that he believes that the Supreme Court is going to side with him on the emergency that was declared. Where he is right now, tied in knots, feels trapped, can't do his job. We've talked about this, difficulty getting out of the current situation, what is around him. I just feel like he's disconnected from the rest of the world. The world is going on, business in DC is going on, but he is isolated or separate from it. Hopes and fears. The King of Cups. He hopes and he fears the King of Cups, and I don't know who that is. Final outcome, another cup card. The Two of Cups, union, partnership, someone offering to work with him in partnership. Clarification of where this is headed. Success comes to him, the Sun, regarding concerns about a legal matter by working in cooperation. So the eventual outcome, I think, is that he will take some type of a deal. And it's strongly tied to his health. It's strongly tied to his health, and you can see, I love this card. Nobody's actually hurting anybody. If you take a good look at this card, no one's actually hitting anybody. It's a great card. But I read once that this card was seen as a group of actors setting up a stage ready to perform. And I thought that was a great interpretation. All right, so there you have it. The president probably at this time rejecting offers because of the Hanged Man, but inevitably Two of Cups and Five of Wands comes in. Despite conflicts, I think he will take a resignation, and we're going to see some resistance in the beginning, but as the case continues to build against this president, I think resignation will be inevitable, because if he doesn't resign, it's very likely that both Kushner and Don Jr. will be indicted. Anybody who was at that Tower meeting is going to be indicted. All right, so now I'm going to throw on Kelly Anne Conway. There's kind of a debate about whether or not she and her husband are in on it together, or if she and her husband are having marital problems because her husband has basically declared Twitter war on this president. So I'm a little curious about that, even though it is a private matter. We don't usually look at private matters, but the reason I am going to take a look at it is because I really want to find out if there's some kind of strategy there on the part of conservatives to split the party. Let's take a look. Kelly Anne Conway and Conrad. Kelly Anne Conway and Conrad. What is going on in that relationship? I love these old worn cards because they're so easy to shuffle. Miss Kelly Anne and her husband Conrad. It shows her working, but look at this base card. I always think about this as a feeling of being destitute, locked out of the church, poor, trying to get back into the church, poverty, homeless. Where she's at right now, closed, shut down, doesn't want to hear it. Sorry about the noise. I'm gonna let that low-flying plane pass over us. Inheritance, right? But this card for me also has to do with possible spying or trickery or deception regarding money. The traditional meaning of this card is one's inheritance and one's other generations, but as I had said before, I had a mentor reader who told me that he also sometimes used it as a spy card for him because of the man watching hidden and the hidden aspects to this card. So a Ten of Pentacles crossing could be one's inheritance or one's destiny or how one receives their finances because of their actions in the past, or family inheritance. If you're interpreting it from the perspective of things going on in the background regarding money or gossip, that's another interesting interpretation of this card. Going into smoother waters. So whatever conflicts are going on with this couple, it looks like it's going to resolve itself. Harmony, negotiation, patience, temperance, regarding what action, reaction. They have a really strong relationship. Six of Cups comes in. It's often been called the soulmates card. Results in harmony. Nine of Pentacles, wealth, financial security. You can see here going into a smoother water in their relationship. Exchange of ideas, resolving conflicts, creative endeavors. A King of Wands. Some people have called that a Muller's card. Hopes and fears. The head of the party, possibly seen as Trump, cutting off the head of the beast. The Emperor with the Page of Swords coming in. In terms of archangels, Page of Swords has been called Archangel Michael. In the archangel decks, they will sometimes use Page of Swords as Archangel Michael. The ability to sever or cut off something. In terms of messages, it can be messages or communication by air, phone conversations. The clarification. I think she's leaving. I think eventually she will not stay. She may stay on longer than others, but eventually she too will move on. So I think what happened was people had asked, was it coordinated between him and his wife? I don't think, looking at these cards, that they sat down and said, let's choreograph some plan. I think instead what happened was that women talk about their day with their husbands. They might complain about the boss. They might complain about their co-workers. And her husband began to share some of his own personal feelings and give a voice to those parts of his wife's opinion about her boss that she couldn't publicly. He became the public voice that his wife couldn't share with the world. That's basically how it looks. In plain words, she would put on a smile, as we all do, and go to work and try and get along with everybody, but then go home and complain to her husband. So now her husband is giving voice to all this frustration that his wife had that she can't talk about publicly. But I don't know if it was something that was formally discussed between the two of them. All right. Boy, that was fun. Thanks, everybody, for staying and tuning in and watching everything. Thanks again for watching the commercials. A lot of good is being done with the money. And I look forward to seeing what we donate to in April. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Be well. Take care.